Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for the bronze medal playoff game between Argentina and Ireland. Should be a fast-paced contest, probably a high-scoring one as well. Bit of a prelim before we get to the final between South Africa and Australia. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. These two sides, they're both very capable of having brilliant games. Ireland, the lineup that they have gone with is Comerford. Also, they have got Awanusi. It is good to see him in the starting lineup because he has been a very much so impact player for the Irish in this one. Kearns is also there. O'Sullivan, Roach, Kennedy, and then Zach Ward will be slotting in at number 12. That is the starting lineup that Ireland have gone with. Then for the Argentinians, it is going to be Vera, who will be starting, Jermaine Schultz, De La Vega, Alvarez, and also Revol, Del Mestre, and then Luciano Gonzalez, who has been absolutely sensational throughout the last little while. We have got their high the chat from Mary say, oh, welcome into the live stream, and also we've got the Have You Seen My Fortnite vid yet? And you can also accept my free request on Xbox, as I haven't actually been on Xbox in the last little while, unfortunately, which may be why I haven't got around to that. I did start watching your video. I did see that you didn't have any commentary for that Fortnite one, though. So I did end up only watching a little bit of it, pretty much to listen to the music, and then I did end up popping off, unfortunately. But I would recommend adding in some sort of commentary to that, just so that it isn't the same as pretty much playing the game, if that makes sense. Just a little bit of friendly advice there. And David the Mighty said, morning all, as I welcome into the live stream, mate. I hope you are doing well. And currently, these two sides, they will be hoping to get themselves third. Ireland and Argentina, two very capable sides, like I mentioned. Both disappointed to miss out on the final. Definitely Argentina, they would have felt like they had a really good crack of being able to go through and take on South Africa like they did last week. To bar Argentina, though, it was 28 points to 12 in that game between Australia and Argentina. France, they did just sneak the win. Ireland, last time these two sides played off, it was 19 points to 12 in favor of Argentina. And that was the final game of pool play for both of these individual sides. But now Ireland, they have lost the two games, 26-0 to South Africa, their most recent one that they have had there as well. They're currently now going to be ready to go. Hope you are doing well, David. What time did you end up waking up this morning, mate? And also, if you are going to be watching the top 14, I do see Chisel and Colby back at fullback for Toulon, which will be an exciting one to see. Nalila Mape, if you're going for the Kiwi boys, he is that France as well. And also, yeah, but I don't want any background noise as well. And there says Aaron Samuel. And also, is this the final of Rugby Sevens or semi-final? This one is going to be the bronze medal final. So it does mean whoever wins this gets the bronze medal. They get third, and the loser of this game will be fourth. But we are getting kicked off now. Argentina kicking off from left to right there. And it is going to be knocked on straight away, I believe, by the Argentines, going into the hands of Roach. Does get himself back to his feet until Luciano Gonzalez does end up dragging him down. Now, I remember a try-saving tackle from Luciano Gonzalez in a recent game when he was able to hold up the man in the in-goal area. It still led to the try. Oh, Olawasi forgot what side he was on. Was trying to give the ball to Argentina there rather than going for the Irish boys. And currently still driving the way forward. That was Aaron O'Sullivan there. It's going to be stolen in the breakdown, though, from Argentina, and they are ruthless when they get the opportunity. They have got Marcos Maneta off the bench as well. Gonzalez stepping on the inside. And straight over the top of a couple of the individual Irish players. Be chipped forward, but now it is out to Alvarez, who has got a good opportunity. They had Jermaine Schultz on the outside, decided against using him. Instead, trying to pierce it straight up the middle of the field. Vera tackled hard, and that is going to be that one as well. Half six as well. I thought this would be an interesting game as on there. Yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome to see how it does end up going. Definitely because, like I mentioned, Argentina, they're just such a good side in terms of being able to fight hard in all of their matches. But then Ireland, they've been on a little bit of a tear as of late, so it will be interesting to see how they go in this one. But currently, it is a stalemate. The first game we got to see go to extra time was actually Kenya versus, they were taking on Spain. That was a very good game. That ball's going to be knocked down. Olawasi kicks it downfield, and now got plenty of distance on that kick, even though it was just a little bit of a grubber. Now Alvarez looking for the pass across both sides. They are going to be extremely tired by the end of this one. Jermaine Schultz now once again trying to pierce around this side, running hard at the line, and it is going to be nicely tackled once again by Ireland. They win the penalty for themselves. Jermaine Schultz just not quite able to get that ball back quite enough, and no clean out was offered by Argentina for a start. And how much of All Blacks have played this tournament, and then shall they have won very easily, or you expected the other team give competition to the All Blacks? They would have probably been top four. It's just whether or not they were able to beat the likes of a South Africa, maybe Australia and Fiji. If they were there also, they would have been another one could have been right up there. Ireland chasing their second ever series medal after winning bronze in London 2018. So that was the last time that they were able to get a medal in the sevens. So they've had a very good tournament, both the men and the women. The women are actually going to be going up against each other for the next matchup. And that is going to be Ireland taking on Australia. Is this in Wellington as well? Is this in Wellington? It is not. We are actually in Spain for this game that it is taking place in Seville, or Seville, I believe is the pronunciation. They were in Malaga last week. And currently, I believe the next time we're in New Zealand, I don't think it's this year that they have got a tour in New Zealand, but they've got Singapore that they will be going to, which is probably our closest location around the side now. Good fend there from Kennedy. Does end up just missing out, but now getting on the overlap. Going out to him now, going for the corner. Does he score it, or did he end up going into the touch from Luciano Gonzalez? If he was able to score it, Terry Kennedy, it could be the lead for the Irish in this one. We will quickly go like this because our scoreboard has decided it doesn't like me. There we go. It is now working for it as well. Close to the touchline. Tries to just push him to the touchline. I think he's got that one down. Terry Kennedy. I think that is going to be the try to Ireland, and they are going to have the first lead of the game. But the stadium for your background looks like Sky Stadium. It is very similar in that regard, other than, I guess, the kind of red carpet that they have got around the outside. But it is a very similar shape, definitely with the seats being yellow as well. Oi, that was close from that angle. But I believe that is going to be fine. I think this ball is down. He's actually dropped the ball there, I've realized. So it's not actually the touchline that they're looking at. It is actually the drop ball. That's going to be no try for Terry Kennedy, and that is a big shame for the Irish after a very good attack being created, but he just ends up putting it down. Kennedy, he'll be gutted with that one, as it could have been a good opportunity for the Irish to have a lead. And also, are you going to be on Xbox anytime soon as well, says Henry Samuel? Probably not over the next 1 or 2 days, because I will be probably sleeping throughout the day, I think, from the weekend that we have had. We've had a lot of hours awake, not so many hours of sleep. So I probably will end up sleeping almost straight to tonight. Might even sleep through the night as well, depending on how it goes. Currently going back across now, Luciano Gonzalez. Good attack and run from that man. It's been taken down. He's actually stayed down for a little bit. I think he got a tickler in the ribs. That's going to be given away, though, by Argentina, and Ireland score the try. And it was Aaron O'Sullivan. He hasn't scored too many. I don't think this is his first try at Seville. And it is going to be very nicely done by the big number 8. That gives Ireland the lead. Like we mentioned, only 2 medals in history Ireland have been able to tick over for themselves. Could this be another one that is coming just around the corner? But it was the interception pass. So it was, in the end, Alvarez to get a little bit wrong. And okay, just want to know, because I'm waiting for you to accept my request on Xbox. As I am there, says Henry Samuel. So I will try my best to remember the next time that I am on as well. But O'Sullivan just ends up going straight through that tackle attempt of Jermaine Schultz. Should I get the Xbox Series S? It is up to you whether or not you do want one. All I will say is if you do get one, you can't play games that are like, if you have a hard drive connected, you can't actually play the games on that hard drive on the Series S, which is a little bit annoying. But if you also got just a regular Xbox, I guess that will be fine as long as you are playing it on the old Xbox rather than the new ones. But you won't be able to do it unless you have got kind of rotating the games around. That's Luciano Gonzalez, and I think he's done something to his ankle here, which is the last thing that Argentina would have wanted to see in this situation, because they are certainly a very capable side. But at the moment, Ireland causing a few issues for the Argentines. And also we have got the chat from Crazy and Z. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Currently the morning here in New Zealand on the Monday. So currently sunny outside. It's always sunny when I do end up going to bed. At this stage, PlayStation is better as well in there, says Crazy NZ. I've heard good things about the old PlayStation. Oh, that is for sure. I actually want to play Rugby 08 on my PS2. I feel like that will be the next one that I do. But Luciano Gonzalez, a little bit yawn, but unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the tournament for Gonzalez. And also, a lot of my games are on disc, from disc. So I would highly recommend not getting one for a Series S. You're better off waiting for an X, because at least then you can put your games in, rather than like Series X doesn't actually have it. And also, we've got the score not updating. Not sure. I think it is normally on their end rather than mine, because it's still flashing saying that we're live. It just hasn't given the try to Ireland as of yet, but hopefully it does soon. They're sitting 5-0 at the moment. Once we get to halftime, surely they would have updated it by the AI. Henry Samuel. See that David the Mod now going to be charging his way forward a lot of my games. But yeah, since I only have about 5 or 10 games on disc, I think that is why I did decide to go for the S rather than the X, just because I didn't necessarily need the disc drive. But as well, since I don't watch movies or anything, Rabio 8 on PS2, the nostalgia is too overwhelming as well. Says Sebastian, it could be just around the corner. Perhaps we film a video. I do actually only have one controller. I want to get myself the second one, though, so that me and George can end up playing split screen. Where does one even buy an Xbox? Or sorry, a PlayStation 2 controller nowadays? Are they just about, or do you have to go to a specialist store or something? Whereabouts would you find one, do you think, for a PS2? Currently now going back across Argentina. Good attacking run. It was just a little bit too easy for him to go through. And I think it is looking like maybe Owanusi might be going off the field soon. He just doesn't quite look right at the moment while he's out there. It's looking like he is really struggling with the stamina. He's taking some very deep breaths. I feel like they should see that Argentina maybe go to his side, and I think you would be able to outpace him out on the wing. But Marcos Maneta, that man can outpace 90% of the population. And watch Amish as well. And there says Darren Smith, welcome in to the live stream. And the Xbox Series S is worse, or S is worse than the Xbox Series S. It is indeed. It is the cheaper alternative if you do want to go without the disc drive, but it is completely up to you with what one you go. It is also completely sold out pretty much everywhere at the moment for the Marcos Maneta chasing that one. It'll be a good tackle on the number 6 for the Sean Kearns. Currently a counter ruck there from Argentina. They get themselves a knock on as well. So now Argentina 5 meters out. Good morning, David, as well. See Sebastian there. And then I crazy and hi, Sebastian. And there from David Ahmad. Currently Marcos Maneta just walked straight through the ref's hand at this point in time. It's a good counter ruck from them. And because of it, it is going to be the pressure extra. Just personified a little bit. They could actually end up getting this one straight down the middle. And I feel like as soon as Argentina score, if they scored, this will update the Irish one as well. Six Nations this weekend, it is indeed, or next weekend, sorry. And yeah, we're going to be covering every single game of that competition. It overlaps with the URC, but we are still going to be doing every single match goes the short side. Referee almost blew the whistle, but Reval scores a try, the veteran for Argentina. And Seville has scored 2 so far, including that one, and they do now make it 5-5. And also, but my Brown is on there. Says Henry Samuel, we might need a little bit more information there. And also, we have got there Six Nations and Super Rugby soon. Are we in there? Or are we? Maybe are we? Are we? Possibly as well. But yeah, it's going to be a good one. And not just that, as when we're thinking about all the competitions we've got around the world that are starting up, getting back underway. If you like the MLR, that's coming back. That is one that you do like watching. Also, we have got plenty more time during the midweek time to be able to do it. But my brother got the Xbox Series S, and a lot of his games are on disc. So I says Henry Samuel. So how does he play those ones, Henry? I guess maybe he just hasn't downloaded them, because you can't actually download those games unless you have got them on a hard drive, perhaps, and then you'd be able to download them onto the hard drive. But you still need the disc to play, so that would be a tricky one for us. But that is going to be 1 try apiece. Visits to the opposition 22-2 for Ireland. They almost hit that try down the wing for Terry Kennedy, but just ended up going a little bit too close to the touchline, and actually almost, he did end up dropping the ball as well. Now think about it, the offload's still in the favor of Argentina. And hey, Sebastian, I hope you're safe. And well, I see things are getting tense at your neighbors as well. Says David the Mod. I probably need to read the news, don't I? I don't really read news too often. But other than rugby news, do any Asian countries play rugby, such as Korea, China, and Japan? Japan are very good at rugby compared to all of the other kind of nations around that region. But it's good news because Korea, I believe South Korea play a little bit of rugby. China, we haven't seen too much of in the past, but hopefully throughout the years, they do keep on developing their rugby game. And I mean, we've seen Japan in the sevens. They also are doing decently for themselves. I'm trying to think of who else from that Asia region. Now, this is going to sound like a stupid question, but Russia's Asia, isn't it? So Russia are in there if we're talking about Asia as well. And the only games that I would be able to play would be FIFA 22 and probably Rugby Challenge 4, and I'll get Game Pass. Game Pass is absolutely awesome because you get so many games. And Six Nations predictions, please. And there's us, Darren Smith. Is that right now, Darren, or throughout kind of like the weeks type thing of trying to predict the games as they are coming up? Do let me know. And hello, Amish Bro says, Michelle, welcome into the live stream, mate. Currently 5-5 in this game. We are sitting at halftime. Both sides want to get that bronze medal around their neck. And the Irish coach, he will be fired up for this one. I believe they have taken off. I want to see they had to. He just wasn't quite moving over. Final table was us, says Darren. Oh, that's tough. I'm gonna say, do I predict it? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say for the Six Nations, Ireland, France, England, Scotland, Wales, Italy. That will probably change once again. And also Wales to take Six Nations again. Says Eastblock there. See, I feel like I put Wales way too low, didn't I? We don't have them fifth. I just couldn't think of them up until I got through the top three. And then I was like, oh, hang on. And I couldn't change the order. That's going to change. Like, I'll probably have Wales first or second on another day. Ireland, they'll be fifth in one of my other days. And also, hopefully, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and also play rugby will boost the completion or competition in terms of people watching rugby and money also. And that conflict is the last thing we need as well. And there says Sebastian, I've just tested positive as I'm drowning my sorrows with rugby and why not, and whatnot as well. But I wish times weren't so hard at the moment, says Sebastian. So yeah, that is sounding pretty rough. And yeah, hopefully your parents will be all right, mate. It sounds like it's not an easy time at the moment for you. So yeah, you need to chat. The Discord is there in terms of the private one rather than the group one, because you probably don't want to put it all out in the group one. But yeah, if you want to chat, Discord's always open, mate. And just flick us a message. Go the Irish Borough in India, 10:12 on here Monday beginning. Says that Michelle, currently Argentina have medaled in all three events this season as well. And that has been all in Spain and also in Dubai, as well as the two locations now stepping nicely for Ireland. Tackled nicely once again. It was Sean Kearns passing the ball back. Terry Kennedy, a little bit of a loosener. It's going to be sitting up nicely. And Argentina just causing a whole heap of pressure as well. And also we've got the Hillsborough bronze medal game. It is indeed. And that is going to be a little knock on from Ireland. And now Argentina have got another opportunity to attack and see whether or not they can get themselves a lead in this one. Still 5 minutes left in this game now between the two teams. 6 minutes on theirs. Personally, I think the Six Nations will be the most open yet, apart from Italy, of course, yeah. Like, that's the thing. I rank those sides. Like, France could easily win it. England easily win it. Wales, if they have the form that they had last year for the Six Nations, they could win it. Scotland, they're definitely a threat to any side that they play. That one as well. We are with you in tough times. Hopefully your parents recover. This tough time will pass as well. And there's coding. And also, geez, Irish, I keep my head high, mate. I'm always, there's always sun after the storm. I truly believe that as well, says Sebastian. Now, I guess the good side of it for you is the fact that we've got so much rugby on. And I know how much you love your rugby. And because of that, it does make it pretty much I guess if it is your distraction mechanism, there's just tons of it on. At the moment, Marcos Maneta down the wing now. And also Chislin Colby returning for Toulon in the upcoming game. A little bit later on tonight up against Nani Laumape and Stade Francais. So if that is a game that you are going to be watching, hopefully it will be a good high-scoring one. And I'm eating a waffle with maple syrup and cinnamon. You are a lucky man. I had chips for tea, I think. No, I had pizza, actually. Never mind. Me and George might have got pizza. We're not doing too well with our New Year's resolutions of eating healthier. He yesterday was like, oh, I'm going to go to BK. You want anything? And I was like, oh, yeah, all right. And then today he was like, I'm going to go to Pizza Hut. Do you want anything? And I was like, yeah, all right. So did end up having a pizza. And are you going to stream the Toulon game? I'm not going to be live for that one, unfortunately, just because I don't think my voice will withstand another whole live stream. But I will be watching it. And hopefully it is going to be a good game. We'll see George grace us with his presence for the Six Nations. Probably not Six Nations, but Super Rugby, hopefully. We will be able to get him around just because he won't be up at the random hours of the night that it will be on for here in New Zealand. I think the earliest game is the 3:45 and then the 5:45, I think. Or sorry, 3:15 and 5:45. And then 2 a.m. I think is the other one. I think someone just dropped a heap of water on the field, which is unfortunate for them. And give me your prediction as well, says Jack. So I'm going to say Stade Francais. That's a tough one. Please tell me you're not going to put any money on whatever I say, because this is just literally, I'm going to choose two numbers. 27-23 in favor of Stade Francais. 27-23, 4-point game. We'll go with that, even though it's probably going to be completely different in that one. I feel like Toulon are going to work hard in that one. Definitely Argentina could number 3 spots. I got here as cheers, David, and coding there in the chat from Sebastian as well. Offloaded nicely. And it is going to be Terry Kennedy. This game is still a draw at 5-5. Are you going to be doing a Xbox Rugby Challenge for Dream Match as well? Because I can invite you to a party on Xbox as well, Says Andrew Samuel. I'm not too sure whether we have got any dream matches coming up on Rugby Challenge. I know we've got a series coming up very soon that I haven't told you guys about yet, but it's going to be hopefully a very exciting one for you guys. We need more Rugby Challenge content. We're also doing more Rugby 22 in the near future. I've already backed that stat for us. Okay, so we will go 27-23. I'm willing to go with that one. And yeah, hope it is going to be that close. If it's that close, we're going to be in for a right treat of a game. But this is now going to be the sub being made by the Irish. 3.5 minutes left now. De La Vega now trying to get that interception. It's bounced off the back there. Alvarez claims it now. Argentina with the quick ends as well going on the outside. And now this is looking very good. Marcos Maneta steps nicely. Offload as well. And now it is going to be Vera trying to give the ball back to Marcos Maneta. There was about to be a penalty in favor of the Argentines. Rodrigo is gross. Scores the try for Argentina. And they get the lead now by just a little bit more. And could you do a Rugby 22 All Blacks as well? All Blacks career, I could do. I know that there is an option, isn't it, if I'm not wrong, that you can actually control the game. Although the slight unfortunate thing is the amount of unlicensed teams that will kind of be around them because we don't have the Rugby Championship in there. Are the Pumas licensed? And I'm not too sure. I know that France are. I could do some sort of France versus New Zealand series perhaps or something like that. Or add in them and maybe Fiji just have kind of like a mini World Cup, about 6 teams or something like that. Maybe a 6 nations of Southern Hemisphere sides, even though I just said France. So maybe just a general 6 nations. It's not the 6 nations, the alternative 6 nations perhaps. Look at the history stat at home. Have won 5 of the last 7 versus Toulon. Toulon don't travel well at all. Are they lost a Breve? Away surely stat at home win. Although, like I mentioned, it's whether or not Toulon turn up. And if they turn up, they could be dangerous, and they have got the ability. Literally, they could win that game by 12 to 15 points if they play well, Toulon. But then they could also end up losing it by 12 to 15 if they don't. So it's going to be a 50-50, I think, for a start, but it should go in favor of Stade Francais. That is going to be a little knock-on once again there. Argentina currently leading by 7. If you were number 10 in any of these 6 nations, what team would you choose? Oh, okay. I feel like I'd go Ireland. For some reason, that is the one that I think I would like to go with, just because I know Johnny Sexton's getting on a little bit. He's 36. So that means I could probably slot in relatively soon, although they've got Ross Byrne and Joey Carberry who I'd have to try and kind of overtake. But I would say it would be pretty awesome to play for Ireland. And they've announced Gislin Colby as their starting fullback. Should be a good game, exactly right. And then they've also we saw a couple of the other players that were in that lineup. Was it Wayne Ngolo out on the wing? He's a beast. And then he's going to be up against Wilaya Thalevu. I mean, the penalty now for Ireland. Oh, a little bit of push and shove there, and Ireland not too happy. They wanted the yellow card. And like they say, Raval, pretty lucky not to get himself a possible yellow card, and he would be off for the rest of the game. So I have Forza Horizon 5. I believe I do. I had it anyway. I don't know whether or not it is still downloaded on my console. I might have had to delete it so that I could have space to download a different game, in fact, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, that might have been the case. So I don't know whether or not it is still about that. It's forward. 40 seconds left now between these two sides. The next game that we are covering, we will be starting in about 20 minutes' time. We are having a nice big build-up to that game between South Africa and also Australia. It's going to be a great matchup, and it should be a very, very exciting one. And I've already backed South Africa and also Hamish Pro Rugby can kick it. Then ball was house stand at grass. Please explain me as well. Says Vichelsa, pretty much, I guess, perfect example. I knew that this would come in handy at some stage. Mini rugby ball. Don't know why I bought it, but pretty much depending on the angle that it hits the ground will depend on kind of the angle that it will bounce up. It's not really similar to the football. They're going to be running sideways here. Sabato cuts back, and this is looking like it is going to be 5 seconds left. Gaston Raval now just holding on to this ball, throws it back across, kicking it into touch, and then it's going to be Argentina taking the bronze medal for themselves. And of all the international grounds, which has to be set atmosphere, I absolutely love either Aviva, Twickenham, Principality Stadium. Those three are three that come to mind straight away. And then also, I mean, Eden Park is pretty cool for New Zealand. But yeah, pretty much if the ball bounces like that, sometimes it comes up like that. It's all over the place. So it's a weird shape, I guess you could say. I don't know what made them decide an oval. Maybe easier to pass it, I guess, as well. And yeah, at this stage, a good win for Argentina. I should have mentioned though, Marcos Mineta once again got the bleeding nose. Now, he actually ended up with a bleeding nose after getting smacked on the forearm or with a forearm to the nose, I believe it was, in one of the past ones. But this is going to be the end of this live stream. We have got Australia versus Ireland taking place now for the women's side of it. And then we will be transferring over to our next live stream. In fact, we could probably get a little bit jammy with it as well. Oh, no, they'll have the national anthems. Never mind. I was going to say we could stick around on this live stream and then just end up kind of cutting away once we do have to transfer over to our next one. And also, can you do an IRL vlog about your setup as well? Says Henry Samuel. We have had the idea of trying to do a vlog because I did actually get myself a new camera battery. It's a little battery pack for the cam. So hopefully we will be able to get something going in the near future. We've actually got a kind of one that we did up in Timaru. We went up north and we did end up buying Georgian ESTADIO a little while ago. And I was hard to tell Darren as well. I'd say just every rugby championship and Six Nations game, the crowds have never disappointed. And so, which is why it's going to be so awesome to see plenty more of the international rugby coming back to us in around July. It seems like a long way away, but England versus New Zealand, that's going to be a massive game. Congratulations, Argentina, for the bronze. Yeah, they did very nicely winning that game 12 points to 5 over the Irish. It was a hard-fought contest, though. It was certainly never going to be easy. Shani Williams got a big smile on her face at the moment. Charlotte Caslick actually still has the jacket on, so does that mean that she is not going to be playing the first half? Surely not. Surely she is going to be out there for that one. But yeah, what we will do is we will end up doing probably the first half on this live stream, and then we'll just transfer over to our next live stream as well. We'll keep the vocal cords warmed up because as soon as I stop talking, the voice is going to disappear very, very fast. But we are going to have the national anthems. But do let me know what you've been thinking so far of the Sevens. Have you been enjoying the fact that we have been in Spain for it and at Malaga and also Seville? And hopefully they do go back in the future as well. But I can't wait to see Super Rugby Pacific. It's going to be awesome. First game, Moana Pacifica taking on the Blues. Doesn't get much bigger than that for the matchup. And hopefully, fingers crossed, touching wood, all the games will be able to take place. Because if we do start missing games, I think that's when it's really going to start to become a little bit more of a 50-50. We've already seen it for the Champions Cup, how certain teams did kind of have their points costed because of the fact that they had positive cases, but then the other team had positive cases as well. When does it start? I believe it is the 19th of February or somewhere around there. One moment. We'll get up the calendar. It is the 18th. I believe is the first game that we are going to get to see, and that one is going to be the Blues taking on Moana Pacifica. But currently, Argentina, they have the bronze. In the women's department, it is actually the USA. Or sorry, it was actually England, I believe, who got themselves the bronze for that one. But now the Australians, and also it is going to be the Irish. Now, the luck of the Irish didn't quite happen for that last game for the men, but the Irish side, they are going to be an exciting one to watch. I go to school tomorrow as well, so you'll be right back into the action of school. It's good. It's a good way of passing the time. School, I find it's always a nice one. I actually had some of my best ideas while I was at school. You just pretty much either write them down on a bit of paper, write them down on your notepad, and then you got them down. And then you can just I've got a list of, I think I've still got that one. Anyway, they had about 100 different video ideas that we still haven't done. So we got plenty of options that we would like to. I can actually think of a bad 7 series host as well. Everyone, everywhere they go in the world, people will have fun and support their sides. It's such a lovely competition. It is. It's always a cheerful one. And at the moment, the Irish, they're all singing. They're all singing the national anthem. I feel like singing the Irish national anthem must be quite a lot of fun because you just chant Ireland. As Irish, do you think France has the sacrificed brawn over flair, or have sacrificed brawn over flair? Oh, it's a tough one. I feel like their backline, definitely, you would say it's got a lot more flair than it possibly used to have. Definitely with DuPont as the starting man and then Intermac as well. But then I would say, you're probably looking at their forwards are certainly big boys now. Cameron Walkie, Sekou Makalu as well, coming up through the ranks. But currently the Irish side, they were singing the national anthem with pride of Ireland, and they were all singing along, tears in the eyes, except that lady, she had a purple eye because she got it well and truly. Someone is just doing some boxing on her partner's hands. It looks like a bit of shadow boxing or shadow high fives practicing for this on an Amish Pro. Best rugby ball made in New Zealand. Which company was good? Canterbury or other companies' ball was good. I think it's Gilbert. Gilbert is the best one, and going to be at St. Pat's College as well. It's Henry Samuel. So this will be your first, is it your first year there, Henry Samuel? Hopefully it all goes smoothly for you, mate. It should be a good opportunity. I assume some of your friends might have been here and there too. And if not, then you've got the chance of being able to meet a whole new group. Maybe you find a couple who like doing a bit of the YouTube stuff, and then all of a sudden you got yourself a nice little group, Kiwi Lads 2.0, or a different name probably. You probably go with a different name of some sort, whatever one you do like, whatever floats your boat. Currently, there's some very blue areas around the ground for this game. But currently, it's going to be kicked off by Ireland between these two sides. It's going to be an exciting one to knock on already. And also, Hamish, maybe a brutal physical game, but rugby culture is about friendship and respect. Exactly right. As soon as you're on the field, you go into battle. Soon as the whistle blows, you shake the hands, you have a beer afterwards, and you say, boys, that was fun. Let's do it again next week. I think Argentina is going to win this one. Kiwi Lads, they did indeed. And they were able to get themselves 12 points to 5 over the USA. Sorry, not the USA, the Irish. We were watching the one between Australia and Ireland at the moment for the women's department. And then we will be transferring over to our final live stream, which is coming up very soon. So we'll probably transfer over for the second half of the other matchup, just so that I wanted to set this one up as a individual live stream, but it's just going to be overlapping with a couple of the other ones. Unfortunately, can you understand South African players opting to play for other nations due to the quota as well? Says Darren Smith. I guess it just depends. Like, if you've grown up in a country for a long time, of course you're going to consider going for it. This is going to be the try to Ireland at the moment, and it's a brilliant try indeed. They are going to be taking the lead in that game. Jeez, it's a good start to the match for Ireland, and it was in the end Parsons who was able to score it. And also, I don't have school work in 3 days as well. I always found that the first couple of days of school where you got to do, is it like your book covers? If I'm not wrong, pretty much you just have to pretty much do a front page. Is that still a thing? We used to do that at school. I don't know whether or not that is a thing for you guys as well, but it would pretty much be you had to like design pretty much a page at the front of your book that just said English, even though the front page said English. You know, you put your name there, Hamish, English book. And they'd still be like, right, you gotta do the front page so that we know that it's your English book. And it's like, it says my name on it and it says that it's English, but you still had to do it. It was a good way to pass a day at school. I think it was just the teachers didn't want to teach anything till the second day of the week. And I was like, I thought Ireland start so well at the beginning, now falling apart. As I was just giving you, unfortunately for them, they did end up just missing out Ireland. They were phenomenal throughout this competition. I've got 5% battery on my iPad. That's not a large number. We're going to have to go back. Hopefully it does last throughout the rest of the live stream. Probably won't. I think 5% is not a lot at all, but we're going to be going back. And we are going to be getting up the lineups for the next game as well. The moment they are still going forward here for the Australians. Oh, ball is ripped free. And now Ireland once again going up the middle. It's a good attacking run. This could be the captain who is able to score it. Does she find the off-foot? It hits the foot. So they are able to pass it back. Tell you what, Australia are under a lot of pressure here. And also in the first week of college, I have camp as well. So that will be nice to be able to go on a camp. I guess that's probably more of the kind of getting to know everyone. Team building, that's another try for Ireland. They are currently sitting 12-0 up over the Australians in the final. This is certainly not what anyone was expecting. Ireland, they were the massive underdogs in this game. But unless Australia fight back in the second half, it could be possibly the win for the Irish. We have got how long does it take to change or to charges? A couple hours as well. Yeah, somewhere around that couple hour mark. For myself, it's a relatively new iPad. I think I got it in Australia, which was 2019, I want to say. It was. I've just realized my cable was over there. So in the halftime break, we will be transferring over and we will be able to get that one for you guys. But do let me know your score predictions just for now in terms of this game, because Ireland, they are leading this match 12 points to 0 currently over the Australians. It's a decent drop kick. Just away to the side, though, for a miss by half an inch, I should say. Like they say in Malaga, they actually only lost by 5 points for the Irish last time these two sides played off. Imagine if the women's side here for Ireland can get themselves the gold medal. That would be absolutely outstanding for them as well. Definitely with the men's just missing out on the position. G'day, Mumsy. Oh, you're not too bad. Are you well? Yeah. That's good. You want to say hi to the folks?
How's it going?
Oh, that's how you know my mumsy. Either I'm too loud or she watches the live streams. It's one of the two. Too loud. Look at that. Just ended up teleporting my charger over to me. Thank you. Right, we're going to plug that in. That's going to help out in terms of the battery life. Currently only a few minutes away. Well, Italy chalk up a win in the Six Nations this time. And if so, against which side? Says Darren. For some reason, I'm feeling like, I know a lot of people would say Scotland probably is the team that they think would be the easiest beat, but I don't think, for some reason, I feel like it's going to be Wales. Just because I think they've lost a couple players due to injury recently. So maybe if they play them relatively early on, which I don't think they do, I think it's about round 3 or 4. I want to say it's going to be Wales, but I don't think it will be Wales. I feel like Wales, for me, because of how well they went last year, I'm expecting it to go just a little bit lower, but still be very good. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for them as well. Flat pass there. This is Ireland's first ever appearance in a cup final. So if they win it, they will actually end up giving themselves a very nice chance. It's going to be the penalty to the Australians, and also Morning Donna, as I said, David the Mon and Hamish Mum walk him on his live stream as well. She's actually been on a couple of the live streams recently. And I was like, Hamish, where's your blow up doll as well? He's in my room at the moment, which of course sounds pretty bad. Of course, we're talking about Kieran, the mascot, but I'll put him up in the corner. There we go. He is up there and he is sitting around waiting for it as well.
Morning, everybody.
You say morning. Oh, it's a try to Australia. And Faith Nathan scores it. This game is long from over, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 50 seconds left for this first half. Then we will be transferring straight over to our next one. We'll actually be starting it earlier than we were going to. As we're just going to be doing the big build-up for that next match and also this game that has taken place. I just love talking about these Sevens fixtures, and there are plenty of them that are coming up in the near future as well. I got a Snapchat from Isaac. That's something. I don't normally get too many Snapchats from Isaac. Hopefully he's all right. We'll check on him after this one, I guess. Oh, it might have been because we were talking about playing yesterday in terms of our Xboxing. And also me, him, and George, we did film a video. Daniel was busy. He was coming back from Wanaka. In fact, I've realized George and Daniel visit Wanaka quite a bit, don't they? And yeah, to myself, I haven't actually been there a very long time. Faith Nathan at the moment, just trying to regather her breath. And also, is there going to be a Cricket 22 video? I hope there will be soon. I still actually haven't played that game yet. I feel like I'm waiting until they do end up fixing it a little bit and having to go now. Hamish, all the best for next week. I can't wait to hear your excellent commentary, as us says Darren. So thank you very much, mate. And yeah, hopefully you do enjoy the rest of your day. But that is going to be halftime in this game. So now we will be transferring over to our next live stream. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've got plenty more content coming in the near future for the Sevens, and also Super Rugby Six Nations international fixtures when they're coming up. The MLR Top 14, Gallagher Premiership, URC. That's a lot. That is going to be what is coming up on the channel. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all.